Good afternoon, ladies. I am so excited to have you all here. Welcome to today's session. So here we are for Instagram Secrets Workshop. And I can already see that so many of you are joining for today's session. So don't be shy, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat box feature. I want to get to know you and for you to get to know me. Today's session will be very much interactive session where we'll be learning all about Instagram, how to really master your Instagram skills, how to grow your following, and also how to design a beautiful feed. So I can see Melissa Carrison. Melissa is here, and I noticed a few ladies here. So go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat box. So let me see who we have here. We've got Gabby, Mirona, Victoria, Erica, and Melissa joining us live. Welcome, ladies. So I know there will be other ladies joining us throughout the session. So we're just going to dive into today's session because I can't wait to share my secrets with you ladies. Victoria, hi everyone. My name is Victoria. I'm the money mindset coach who helps women overcome their subconscious blocks. Welcome, Victoria. Good to have you here. And also Melissa, I run a Pink Love by Melissa. Oh, I love the name, Melissa. I'm from Norway, currently living in Spain, and I would love for you to follow me. And please share yours. So of course, ladies, do make sure you share your Instagram handle so others in this session can follow you and also engage in conversation. You know, all of our workshops are very much interactive, and what I find that ladies on these sessions actually make some new connections and new friends. So hopefully after today's session, you'll have a few new followers as well. So I have some slides prepared for you, but before we dive in, I just want to let you know that today's session will be recorded. So for any reason, if you have to drop out, you can always come back and watch this on a replay. So this replay will be there for you whenever you need it. Also, we have a workbook available for you. So if you haven't downloaded the workbook yet, go ahead and click on the link just above, which says Google Drive. So you'll have a free workbook available for you. Now, another thing that comes together with this workshop is our Instagram Secrets Facebook group, and quite a few ladies have already been joining us within the group. So make sure you also request access to the group so I can approve you and you can continue your journey. So sharing your experiences, sharing your learnings, asking any questions and interacting with others. I think we have about 30 or 40 ladies there within the Instagram Secrets Facebook group. So it's really exciting because you can share this journey with everyone else because all of us are learners. You know, when I started Instagram account, I was learning. I was starting at zero, and there is no shame at starting at zero. And just last week, I have actually set up my own personal account starting at zero. So, you know, wherever you are on this journey on your Instagram, you know, whether you have 100 followers, no followers at all, whether you have 10,000 followers, we can still learn something and share this experience together. So although my business Instagram account has grown rapidly, you know, just a few weeks ago, we celebrated 100,000 milestone, which I couldn't even believe in myself, how quickly it all happened and just this rapid growth that happened for us. But it didn't happen by chance. And I have discovered some techniques and ways of improving your growth and making sure that you're attracting the right audience. And that's what I hope to share with you today. So today's session will be approximately 90 minutes long. We're really going to dive deep into the actual practical things that you can do to grow your account and also to design it for the best results. So this is not a webinar where you will be just sharing my story. This is very much practical workshop where we actually going to learn things. So my name is, so I'm just going to read one more message that's come in. I don't want to mispronounce your name, so tell me if I've got this wrong, all right? Mirona, I hope I said it right. Hi, my name is Marona. I run Nova Efficiency. I'm joining from Netherlands. Fantastic. And I love that ladies joining us from all over the world today. I am based in London myself. I have been living in London for the last 15, maybe 16 years. I've lost count. I also traveled to Spain and Norway, and I have been to Netherlands as well. So I love that we have an international community here and all the places that I have already been to. So really exciting. So who's excited to get started? While I look up for some slides, make sure you introduce yourselves, what your business is about, and leave your Instagram handle as well so others can follow you. So let me see whether I can share my screen, if the tech holds out. Let me see which screen I need. Right, so here we are. Let me know if you can see my screen, okay. It might take a little while. Marsha, hi, my name is Marsha. I'm a personal stylist. My business is called Style Signature. I love that. I love personal styling. So welcome, Marsha. Good to see you. Yes, I can see it. I can see your screen. Fantastic. Good. So I will go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger for you, ladies. Hopefully you can see it full screen. And I also have another screen here on my left. So I will be keeping an eye on your comments. So if you have any questions throughout this workshop, make sure you stay engaged, ask questions, make comments. I want to see that you're engaged, and also take some notes, switch off any distractions, because we are here to learn. We're here to really learn some practical things about Instagram, and I don't want you to be distracted. So make sure you take some notes, use the workbook, and let's dive right in. If you are, ladies, ready for today's session, I'd like to start right here and dive in. So welcome to Instagram Secrets live workshop. My name is Raymonda Yankunete, and I'm the founder of Women in Business Community. I'm also entrepreneur and speaker, and I do a number of other things, which I'll tell you a little bit more later on. So today is about how we got to 100,000 followers in 1 year, and all the things that I have done to help this growth happen. Things doesn't happen by chance. So of course, any growth or business progress, really, you are the entrepreneur behind all of this progress, and you're the one that's driving it. So you got to be committed, and that is one of the things that I done. When I started Instagram account for our business, for Women in Business Community, I really committed myself to seeing it through. And I tell you a little bit more of my commitment to myself, and I will ask you, what are you willing to commit to your Instagram journey? So let's begin here. So a little bit about myself. I am entrepreneur, mentor, a speaker. I also lecture at University of Westminster here in London. I'm lecturing entrepreneurial practice. So that's sort of my passion work that I do once a week. I am very passionate about entrepreneurship, about female empowerment. I love innovation and technology, and I'm a little bit techie when it comes to things, like setting up webinars, building websites. I am very much techie girl. I love supporting women, those who are starting out in businesses, whether it's around mindset, whether marketing, strategy. I'm very much strategy-driven person, so I love supporting other female entrepreneurs on their journeys, and I do that through my mentoring. I have been an entrepreneur since age of 19 and started several businesses in my career. Entrepreneurship was very much a choice that I have made when I started out. So when I graduated, it was a choice of going and working, and my choice was going and setting up my own business. And since I have not looked back, I have always been committed to my passion to run my own business, and through the ups and downs of running a business, I'm still here 11 years later. I'm still running my own business, and I'm really happy. That really fulfills me when you wake up every morning and you can say that I am passionate about what I do. Originally, I am from Lithuania. I have lived in the UK for the last 15, maybe 16 years. I've lost count. I founded Women in Business community and international events. I think that happened about 2 years ago. And our Instagram journey started just a year ago. So 30th of March 2018 is when I made a decision to start our Instagram account. When Women in Business community became an official entity, that is when I decided it was time to take that leap to start creating an Instagram profile for us. Personal passion is traveling. Very much love traveling and discovering different countries and cultures. I love food, and also I love supporting and mentoring women to success. So this is me. Again, if you want to tell a little bit more about yourself in a chat box, I'd love to get to know each one of you, and what your passions are, what it is you do, how long you've been doing what you do right now. I'd love to find out more about you. So make sure you keep us posted in the chat box. So who's this workshop for? This workshop is for female entrepreneurs, business owners, up and coming social media influencers. So if you're looking to become an influencer in your niche, perhaps make money out of being an influencer, this workshop is for you. Also for any coaches in the house, who's a coach here, raise your hand. And also for brands. So if you have a product, a clothing brand, or just a brand of your own, this workshop is for you and it's going to help you really elevate that. Everyone uses Instagram these days, and it is a very exciting platform. And even this morning, I woke up and the royals have set up an Instagram account for themselves. Meghan and Harry, it's really exciting because it just goes to show that Instagram is the kind of platform that is for everyone. A lot of people, the young, old, mid-generation, everyone uses Instagram and everyone wants to be on Instagram because this is one of the most exciting platforms there is right now. It's super visual, really engaging. You can create really amazing content and really attract a lot of growth through it. So it has been around for a while, but I think now people really discovering Instagram in masses, and a lot of people are on there. So, if you're not on Instagram yet, you sure should be. And I think you being on this workshop just shows that you also love Instagram like I do. Erica is here. I design women motivational products to foster confident, inspired, healthy women. I'm in Pennsylvania, USA. Welcome, Erica. Good to have you here. And I love what you stand for. I love motivational products. I love to find out what kind of products you create. So if you're a brand, you got product-driven business, social, whether you're a coach or online business, this workshop is for you. So, are you ladies ready to learn? Today's session will be approximately 90 minutes long, and at the end I have a bonus for you. I know you already have a workbook available for you, so if you're just joining, make sure you scroll up in the chat box and grab the workbook that is available for you, and also join the Facebook group. But at the end, I will give you my 10 things checklist of all the things that I do with every post. So make sure you stay until the end. I'll be sharing my bonus at the end. So who's ready to learn? Let me know if you're ready to learn. I'll be keeping an eye out on your comments. So, Melissa, yes, definitely love that. So ready. I am so ready to share my secrets with you. So before we begin learning, I want to talk to you why Instagram is so important. And like I said, everyone is on Instagram. Actually, over 1 billion active users are currently using Instagram as their go-to platform. There are a number of social media platforms out there, but Instagram is by far becoming the most popular and overtaking platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So there are really plenty of users on Instagram, and chances are that your customers, your buyers, your audience are also on Instagram. So that is one of the reasons why you should be mastering for your business, and you should be fostering those relationships using Instagram. That is where your audience hang out. So another few facts that you may want to know, that people on Instagram, users of Instagram, are affluent buyers. So if you look at the stats here below, you can see that the average income of Instagram users are anywhere between $30,000 and 75 or even more $1,000. So they are affluent buyers, people who are ready and willing to spend money using Instagram platform. Actually, just yesterday, one of my mentoring clients reached out to me and said, I can't believe it. After taking your Instagram course, I've been using Instagram and being very consistent, showing up with video and posting my content. And actually, she just received a call from a potential client. It was a high-end client, possibly spending £40,000 with her, who said to her, I don't have a limit how much I want to spend. And guess what? This customer or potential customer found her through Instagram. They said, we love your Instagram account. We love what you do and what you stand for and how you show up on social media. So though you may not know who's looking at your Instagram account, chances are people are looking and watching. It's just a matter of time until they become your customer, your buyer, a person who actually enrolls on your programs and, converts. But it is a process of nurturing your audience when it comes to Instagram or any social media platform. You got to nurture your audience, and this is what we're going to learn today. So, a few more stats. If you're wondering who are, this 1 billion users on Instagram, well, I think some of these stats might be a tiny bit out of date, maybe a year old, but Instagrammers the chances are they are under 30 years old. I would say the average age of Instagram users are anywhere between 18 to 45 or so, but there are the average, the most active users on Instagram are the millennials, people between 20, 25 to 30, 35. So some of these stats shows that Instagram users are affluent, they're current, they're going with the trends, the people that want to see valuable content that looks attractive and engaging. So you really have to put some thought in how you show up on these social media platforms, how your content is presented. We spend an average of 32 minutes a day using Instagram. I'm sure for some of us, probably more. On average, I spend between 30 and 60 minutes a day, and Instagram is very handy because it gives you some of the stats of how long you actually spend on it. So on average, I spend about 30 to 60 minutes every day. Now, there are, and this blows my mind, this absolutely blows my mind, there are 95 million posts every single day, probably more at this rate. And guess what? Your content is competing with 95 million posts a day, which means, yes, there are 1 billion users using Instagram on a daily basis, and we spend 32 minutes or more using Instagram. But there is also a sheer volume of content. Now, what does it mean for you? Now, as a content creator, as a brand, or as a business, this means there is a whole lot of competition out there, and you have to find a way to really stand out for your audience. And that means captivating the attention of your potential customers or your audience. Because, with 95 million posts a day, you got to be creative how you captivate someone's attention. And if you have been using Instagram for a little while, you know how it goes. You take your phone, you open Instagram, and you scroll through it. So there's only a few posts that you would stop and really digest what it is about. So it's rather fast-moving platform. It's very engaging, but there's a lot of content, which means we have to stand out. We have to find a way to stop our audience in the tracks and say, hey, I am attention worthy content that you want to read. So, how do we compete? How do we go about standing out between the 95 million posts every single day? We got to do something different. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. I want you to stand out. I want you to captivate your audience attention, because that's what it's all about. If your content is something that I can scroll by easily, it just blends in with everything else, you're really not doing it justice, and you're really wasting your time posting on this platform that isn't really doing anything for your brand. So at the end of this workshop, I really want us to start thinking, how can we stand out and how can we captivate your audience attention? Because that's what it's all about. If your audience is scrolling past your content, you haven't really captured their attention, and that means you haven't engaged with them. So let's keep going. I want to tell you a little bit more about my journey, and some of these stats are important to your probably understanding of how Instagram works. And there's things that I've learned on this journey from starting my account at 0 a year ago on 30th of March. Like everyone else, I started at absolute 0. Now, May 26th, I hit my first 1,000 followers. And, March, April, May, it took me about 2 months to reach the first 1,000 followers. It wasn't easy. And the reason why this number is highlighted is the first 1,000 followers are probably the hardest to achieve, because you're a small account, your visibility is poor, you haven't got a lot of people engaging with your content. That means you're not really being seen. So the first 1,000 followers is really the hardest mark before your growth begins. So whatever you got to do, you got to reach that first 1,000 followers mark fast, and then things will get easier. So if you're wondering, why is my account not growing? I'm seeing people with 5,000, 10,000 followers. Now, as soon as you get past the first 1,000 followers, things get a little bit easier. So you got to stay a little bit patient. And patience does pay off. So the first 1,000 followers mark, what you can do to get there is connect your account to your other social media accounts like Facebook, like Twitter. Make sure you keep leading people back to your Instagram account to follow you. Ask your friends, ask your other followers on other accounts to follow you. Make a big deal of being on Instagram and sharing valuable content. Maybe show up on Instagram Live once in a while and tell people to go and catch you on Instagram Live. So there's a number of ways you can really attract people to start following you on your account while you're building that momentum up to the first 1,000 followers. And you got to follow other people. If you want other people to discover you and reciprocate, you got to follow other people as well. So if you have some friends from Facebook or people you worked with, make sure you follow them first and tell them, hey, I'm here, and engage with their content. Now, the second 1,000 followers happened May, June, July, so within another month or so, month and a bit. So again, the second 1,000 was relatively slow growth, probably just over 1,000 a month, which I was still doing things in the background. I was still engaging with other accounts, and I was nurturing those relationships. I didn't just let it happen and just sit there and wait for people to follow me. I did nurture those relationships to get to those first 2,000-3,000 followers. I nurtured as many relationships as I could to get to that point. Now, When we got past the 2,000, 3,000 mark in June, July, as you can see, the growth became more rapid. So we started to get a whole lot more followers. So between July 22nd and July 28th, we got 1,200 followers. So within 2-3 weeks. So the growth became very, very rapid. Between July the 28th and August 19th, we grew by 5,000 followers. That's less than a month. 5,000 followers in less than a month. So what you can see in this timeline here is that while you're small when it comes to Instagram, the growth is much slower. But as your numbers start to grow and increase, your growth becomes more and more rapid. Now, again, that doesn't mean you just sit back and watch your numbers roll in. You gotta adopt some strategy. And this is what I want us to focus on today. Strategy. How do we actually get from 0 to 10K? How do we go past that number? Because, like I said, if you just sit there and let it happen, it won't happen. It won't get to the first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers because it needs your energy, it needs your attention, it needs your commitment. So since then, since reaching 10,000 followers, we have been having at least 10,000 followers every month growth since. That is phenomenal growth, and that comes back to our strategy of what I will be sharing today with you. So, if you ask me what really contributed to our success, is having just that strategy. When I started my Instagram account, I decided on a strategy of how I'm going to do this. Another thing that I done when I started our Instagram account was commitment. I committed one daily post on our Instagram account, Monday to Sunday, and you might call me crazy, but I was really passionate, and I'm still very passionate about Instagram. In the whole year, I think I may missed 1 or 2 days of not posting on Instagram. So that means I've been posting every day. So consistency in posting daily was what rewarded me in such growth numbers. And my audience seeing that I show up daily, and they become accustomed to our content, they love it, and they come back for more because I keep giving my audience what they're looking for. They want that inspiration, they want the daily quotes, they want the great content, and this is what I'm committed to giving to them. So before you say, oh, Instagram doesn't work, or even before you set out on this journey, commit to yourself on how many times a week you're going to post. And I want to see this in the comments. I want to find out how many times a week are you willing to post on your Instagram. If you aren't already doing every day. Melissa says, is it positive or negative to post more than once a day? Yeah, of course. If you got more time, if you got more content, sometimes I post 2 times a day. There have been times when I post 3 times a day. There is no negative. It just comes down to your commitment and your time. Have you got the content to do that? Because a lot of people, what they lack is the content. Again, and that's one of the things that I teach, how to, have content ready, how to have this content ready. So Victoria says, I agree. I post daily. Marsha says 6 times a week. Melissa, okay, thanks. You're welcome. So on top of being consistent, I was also active. I didn't just sit there and watch the numbers come in. I actively engaged with my followers. And that is important because if you truly want to make that connection with your audience and build a longevity with your potential followers who will become eventually your buyers, you want to engage with them as well. You want to give something back. You want to go into their accounts and like their posts. Even if you're not going to follow them back, you can, go ahead and comment and say thank you. So if people comment on your content, you can just say, hey, thanks. Appreciate you following me. Thank you. Just being grateful and active and not arrogant, because some accounts are quite arrogant. They're just sit there and wait people to follow them. But my mindset was always to nurture those relationships. And another thing that contributed to our success was having branded design. And I'll cover this in much more detail today in how to have the branded design for your Instagram account and why does it even matter? Why does it really matter to have branded content on your Instagram page? So I post 3 times a week. Content has been a big struggle. I do interact a lot with others. See, that's fantastic. You post 3 times a week, and that is how much you committed. And, as you said, content is a problem. And hopefully, after today's session, you'll have some more ideas of how to have more content. But interaction is so important. And that will sometimes, outweigh the fact that you don't post as much. You interact. So, what impact has our growth had on my business? And I couldn't have anticipated this at all. What happened between us having no followers at all, or not even Instagram account? I was running in a women in business community without Instagram account for a year. And when we opened our Instagram account and I started running it and, reached the first 10,000 followers, a lot of things have changed for me. And, you might resonate with this, or you might get to this point yourself and celebrate this achievement, because honestly, having a huge following on Instagram changes the game for you and your business. And it has done for me, which I couldn't anticipate until I got to that milestone, until I got to that 10,000 followers and more, and things just started to change rapidly. So a few things that changed for me was visible influence. When people knew our following was growing at such rate, the influence was undeniable. People would reach out to me and say, "Oh my God, you got 10,000 followers. Your growth is crazy. I'd love to know how you're doing it." So they started to recognize me or our brand as influential brand. Now, people reached out to us for sponsorships, and we get messages on a daily basis for people asking for shout outs, asking how can they get onto sponsored posts. So far we haven't really opened that service to everyone, but we have had some notable brands who reach out and said to us, "I want to pay you, or I want to sponsor you with products, and can we get a shout out? Can we do collaboration?" So if you see here on the left, here are some of the brands we actually had as sponsors, some of these brands reached out to us. We didn't even reach out to them. They reached out to us and said, "Hey, can we have a shout out?" Like Molton Brown, they reached out to us and they said, "Can we have a shout out?" Gary Vee. I had a Gary Vee media company reach out to us and ask us for a sponsored post. Gary Vee has 5 million followers. Why do they need us? Now, because we have a very specific target market that we work with that Gary Vee doesn't. And these massive brands reach out to us and say, "Can we pay you to do something with your brand?" Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want brands like that reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, I will pay you if you just put one post out for me"? It's insane. And I couldn't have anticipated that when I started on Instagram. So since we had sponsorships, collaborations, we had sponsorships in other things. So not only just sponsored posts, but, if you see this picture, most of these things were sponsored. The venue was sponsored, the balloons, the flowers. Brands want to start sponsoring you when you reach these kind of numbers, because it's exposure and marketing for them. So not only in real money, but also in other services and products that we quite often get offered because of our following. We also get a lot of new clients, new members within our community based on our following, recognition. We have been able to connect with high profile coaches. We have attracted international speakers to our events. We filled out seats at our events. We had a capacity of 100 people at our last event or the previous event. We filled out the seats. And that is the impact of having an influential account, whether it's your brand, whether it's your individual as an influencer or a coach. It is phenomenal. When you get to the at least 10,000 mark, it is phenomenal what starts to happen. And like I said, I couldn't make this up. All of these logos here, they represent real collaborations and money that has come into our business because of Instagram following, which is crazy. Victoria says, congratulations. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I appreciate it. So this has been my journey, and I'm proud to say that it has transformed my business. So this was our 100,000 photo shoot, 100,000 reach photo shoot in London, which was absolutely beautiful. And I have so many pictures that I haven't even shared yet, and I'm really looking forward to sharing these pictures with you guys. So I want you to begin this journey of Instagram with setting some goals for yourself. My goal wasn't to reach 100,000 at all. When I started on Instagram, my goal was to inspire women in business and also to attract our like-minded tribe to our community. That's all I wanted. My commitment and my goal was to inspire women and attract like-minded female entrepreneurs who, share the same values. That was my goal. As I started to see growth within our account, my goal became to reach the first 10,000 followers. I just wanted to reach that 10,000 followers to say, yes, I've reached 10,000 followers. Everything else that happened since, I didn't plan for it. It just happened. I did not plan for it. But for you ladies, I want you to think about setting some goals. It is powerful when you set your mind to achieve something. It is so powerful because the universe will conspire to help you achieve it. So in the chat box right now, I want you to tell me how many followers you have right now, and where do you want to be in about 2-3 months' time? Where do you want your account to be? So set some goals. I want to see some numbers coming in. I want to see where is your ambition right now? What's the number that you want? What's that magic number that you want to get to? And how far away you are from it. So let me know in the chat box where you want to be. On top of setting goals, you also want to make some decisions from get-go. What kind of account do you want to have? And this is important because there are so many different accounts online that, they look like perhaps it is not a business account. It's just something you're doing for a bit of fun. But if you truly want to make an impact and start growing your account, you got to make that decision to commit to make your Instagram into something. What kind of account do you want to have? Build the vision in your mind. Think about where do you want to be and what kind of account do you want to have? Is it an influencer account? Is it a brand account? What's the purpose? Because you're not just going to build or grow your account to 10,000 or 5,000, 100,000 followers and not have any purpose. You want to think about a purpose. What's the purpose of you doing it? What's your goal? What's the real reason you want it? So when you know the real reason why you want it, it'll be easier for you to shape the content and shape the, who you're starting to attract, because based on the kind of account you want to have and the kind of content that you're going to share, that is the kind of people that you're going to attract. So when you reach 10,000 followers, it is too late to start thinking about what kind of account you want to have or what kind of audience you want to attract. You got to start thinking now, what kind of account do you want to have and what kind of audience do you want to attract? Um, uh, I'm so scared to mispronounce your name. My Morona? Do I say it right? I'm gonna bring you on camera for you to tell me how you pronounce your name. You're saying 220 now. Would love 1,000 in 2 or 3 months. That's totally achievable, Morona. And my personal account is on 220 right now. I started it last week, and absolutely, I want to get to that first 1,000. So let's do it together. It's you're just at the start, and that first 1,000 will be relatively difficult. It'll be more difficult than growth thereafter. So make sure you stay committed and you kind of engage and stay consistent as well. Marsha says currently 900, would like to triple this in a couple of months. Absolutely, that is totally doable, Marsha. Like you've seen what we achieved in the scale here, and you can see that it is so possible. It is definitely possible to do that. Erica says, what a wonderful feeling. I started my account on April 26th. You say it perfectly, don't worry. I'm trying. I started my account on April 26th. So Erica, tell me, how many followers do you have right now? I'd love to find out. Victoria says, I'd love to hit a 10K mark. I am on 2,500-ish now. Awesome. So set a date, Victoria. When do you want to reach that 10K and work towards it? Now, I knew right here, I knew when I was going to hit the 10K mark. I predicted to reach the 10,000 followers mark on 15th of August, beginning of July. How did I do that? Well, I saw a pattern in how many followers we get every single day. And I knew we would reach that by mid-August because I was consistent with what I was doing. So, the fact that we were on 2,000-3,000 followers in mid-July didn't matter because I could see every single day we would get 200 followers every day. So going by that number, I knew we would hit 10K mid-August. It didn't quite happen on exact day when I thought it would, but I was pretty close. And because I could see a pattern in what was happening with my Instagram account. And that is the power of setting goals and working towards it. So, when I started our Instagram account, I decided what kind of accounts I wanted to have. I decided what kind of audience I wanted to attract. And I worked towards it. So it's very much around your commitment to make it happen. Of course, you could enjoy the journey as well. So I'm not just saying do it for the numbers. Do it because you love it. Do it because you want to serve your audience. Do it because you love your business and you love sharing what it is that you're doing. So Melissa says, I have 194 followers now, but my account is only 1 week old. Yay, Melissa, my personal account is only 1 week old too. 800,000 in 2-3 months would be awesome. I'm currently creating a pink feed that makes me happy and gives me a good feeling, but I want to start creating posting my own pink content in the future, create my own clothing line. Big dreams. Love those big dreams. And I love pink. You probably noticed, maybe not. Well, Melissa, obviously, there is nothing stopping you. You can absolutely achieve that. And like I said, just look at where we got in just a year, and it's possible. Anything is possible. So just briefly, I want to talk about why people use Instagram, and this is important. This is not just fluff content that's put together. I've researched everything that I'm sharing with you. I either used in our own Instagram strategy, or I have also researched to give you this content. So why people use Instagram? Number of reasons. So the reasons are, one of the reasons why people use Instagram, they want to feel inspired. Like I said, Instagram is such a visual platform, and people go there to really be inspired, to feel uplifted, see photos that makes them feel good, right? So that you get inspired by pink content and, creating beautiful content, that's the reason why people go to Instagram, because they know they can have that 5 minutes escape from real world and go look at some beautiful pictures, right? So people want to be inspired. Another reason why people use Instagram, they want to be entertained. And you probably have found yourself sitting there on Instagram stories forever and ever and watching funny videos, watching, IGTV, someone talking. There's so much content out there. So people want to be entertained. And that's when we talk about what kind of account do you want to have? Think about this. Why do people use Instagram? And how does your content appeal to these needs of the people using Instagram? Does your content appeal to these needs? Why I use Instagram? Another reason why people use Instagram is to follow trends and favorite people. So brands, celebrities, people they admire, their friends, they use it ultimately to also to connect with friends. So people like following these trends and seeing the latest updates. And also they want to share their journey. So it's not just about you as the content they're looking at, it's about them. It's a very personal experience because we tend to use Instagram on our phones, and we tend to do it in bed, eating breakfast, eating lunch, sitting on a train, sitting on a bathroom, laying in bath or in bed. It's a personal experience, and it's not just about you or your content, it's about them. It's about the experience you want to create for your audience. So your job is to make your content in flow with their overall experience. They want to have a positive experience, and they want to experience your brand through the visuals and their account, the content that you create. So if you think in this sort of sense, where does your content fit in with their experience of using Instagram? Does it make sense? And, give me some feedback. Let me know if this makes sense. I talk so much. I need to drink water. So, first, what we've done within our account, and that's something that Melissa said as well, her desire for her Instagram account is to create pink feed. We had the same ambition. We wanted to create a beautiful design. And pink for us was just a natural color that we went for because of our branding and sort of the theme that we have been using. And naturally, we went for a pink feed. Now, the design of your feed is so important because this is what attracts your audience to your content. And this is what attracts them to actually follow you. Now, imagine using Instagram and you land on someone's feed and it has everything and anything, and there is no cohesive design. There is a picture of their cat, picture of their breakfast, picture of their holiday, picture of a quote. There's just, a mesh of different things. And you're looking at this account and you're thinking, I'm feeling confused. Who is this person? What do they stand for? And what can I expect from following them? A mesh of different content. Now, that doesn't go down well with Instagram users. What goes down well with them is a beautiful design, a cohesive design, which is well thought through, that there is a certain pattern that they can see is evolving on your account. and they can see that you have put in some effort in creating your content. Now, if I'm going to follow your account, I want to see that I know what to expect. I want to know that, if I follow you today, a week later, a month later, the content will be still in the same flow. It will still have the same theme. It will still have the type of content that you kind of promised me at the beginning. So if I followed you because I love your pink feed, all of a sudden, I don't want to see red feed. I don't want to see blue pictures because I followed you because I love your branding. Right? So when you, Mahara says, uh, that's a bit like mine, trying to fix that though. Absolutely. So you're not too late. It doesn't matter what you had before. You can go and kind of archive some pictures. You can create new design. But what I'm saying is the look and feel of your account has to be intentional. You want to make it intentional. If you want to really start taking your account seriously and using it for business or your brand, you got to start being intentional with the kind of content you're posting, with how you design it, how you structure your feed, how the branding looks and feels. And something I always say to those that I'm teaching Instagram skills is, how do you want to make your audience feel? So when they land on your profile, how do you want them to feel? If you can, put one or two words to it, how do you want your audience to feel when they land on your profile? Because a lot of profiles out there will simply make you feel confused because you don't know what this person stands for and you don't know what their brand is about. So make it easy for those who want to follow you, because you want to make it easy for them to understand who you are, what you stand for, what your brand colors are, what content to expect from you. Make it easy, lay it out, and be consistent. And that's where consistency keeps coming back in your design and how many times you post and what you post. Consistency is really the key. Okay. Let me read Erica. I started my account April 26th, 2018. Just got my handle and switched it to a public account with a launch product on January 2nd. I post my own inspirational posts daily and I have 1,213 followers in 4 months, did you say? So would love a double number in 2 months, half the time. Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen through my timeline as well that you can double and triple your numbers in a month or 2 months. And of course, you've just made your account public, so which means people didn't have a chance to see what your design or your content looks like beforehand. So switching it to a public account really helps that process, and also making it a business account. So if you currently have a personal account, switch it to a business account so you can see stats, so you can see the analytics of your account, and you can unlock some new features more so than if you had a personal account. So if you are using it for business, definitely switch it to a business account because that will help you a lot in a long run. Okay. Who's excited to keep learning? One word that keeps popping up, and I'll keep saying it and saying it and saying it, is consistency. Consistency in your content, consistency in your fonts that you're using, and especially if you are reposting somebody else's content, like quotes, start creating your own. And that is where the power lies, when you start to create your own quotes, your own content. Because when you repost somebody else's quotes, it is far from consistent, because every account uses different fonts, different writing, different style, different background, different filters. So create your own, make your own quotes and little pictures. And I'll share some of the tools that I use that, are my favorite tools that I use on a daily basis. but create your own. And if you're going to be consistent in when you post, what it is that you post, in your brand voice. Your brand voice is so important. You don't want to sound like somebody else one day, another person another day. Be consistent in how you come across to your audience, and even go from one day to the other that leads on from the same subject that you're talking about. People start to create a relationship with you, so-called relationship, virtual relationship, when you become consistent, and I start to get to know you as a person or as a brand. And there is continuity that runs through everything that you're doing. That's when I start to create that, loyalty to your account. And that's when I start to anticipate your content. So for me, how we started to grow our following so quickly, it was consistency. And I created the anticipation. So, when I'd post a quote every morning, our followers became accustomed to our morning posts. They started to anticipate every morning, and they started to engage on a daily basis with our content because I was so consistent that they would see me showing up every day. So consistency is the key. If you're going to use captivating images, again, similar look, similar feel, what it is about, the themes that runs across your Instagram account, make it consistent. The hashtags that you use in this, the whole raft of things. There's a whole workshop on hashtag strategy, and I can't go into too many details on hashtags today, but using your hashtags is so important. And like I said, there's so much to cover when talking about hashtags. Make your daily post. So if you're going to post every day, the time that you post becomes important as well, because if you change the time you post or change the time that you go live on a daily basis, means your audience are confused. Because let's say moms wake up really early and they check out their Instagram account, and they don't have time till they go to bed at night. So if your content shows up in the morning, and then it shows up in the afternoon, and one day shows up in the evening, there is no consistency. So your content isn't showing up to the same people all the time, which means it becomes dispersed. It becomes, visible to a few people here, a few people there. So be consistent with the time that you post. And that's something that I done with my account. I've just been consistent with the time I post. And I still do that. A year later, I still do it. Erica says, what time do you post your morning daily quote? Have a guess, Erica. What time do you think I post my daily quote? And if you have been following us for a little while, you should be able to tell me this. So be consistent, and I'll answer that in a little while. So, but tell me, what do you think? What time do you think I post? So here we're just moving into hashtags, Melissa. So you just asked me about what are the important hashtags. So I'll cover that in a little bit, in as much detail as I can in the short time that we have together. So get your content found. So it's not only about being consistent and showing up to your existing audience. Now we're moving into part of this session where how can you actually be found? And there are a number of ways that you can be found. One, of course, which Melissa already said to us, is hashtags. And maybe let's dive a little bit deeper into Mahara says 7 a.m. your time. Close. I actually post around 8 o'clock, 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock in the morning our time. Sometimes I used to post around 7 or 8, but now I post around 8:30 when I'm having my breakfast. So yeah, good observation. So get your content found. Yes, using hashtags, relevant hashtags, I must say, is definitely one of the strategies you can use to get your content found. Now, what I see a lot of people do make a mistake when it comes to hashtags, especially for the smaller accounts, is using hashtags that are absolutely huge hashtags. And what do I mean by that? If you go into your search feature on Instagram and you type in any hashtag, it will show you how much content is being posted under the hashtag. So if you are using hashtag like, let's say, mindset or hashtag Instagram or hashtag daily post, you will be competing with millions of other posts. And remember, we talked about 95 million posts a day. Now, some of these generic hashtags have millions of posts under them. So especially if you're a small account, if you're going to use big hashtag, your content isn't going to be found. Within a few minutes, your content is going to get lost underneath all the other content. And it will be part of content pool that not necessarily is relevant to the people looking for things. Now, if you want to become more relevant and you actually want to be found, start using hashtags that are much smaller, especially as you're starting out. So when you're starting out, when you're just at a few hundred followers, use all 30 hashtags, but they need to be relevant and they need to be smaller. And what do I mean by smaller is they are more niche. There is less content under these hashtags. I hope you understand what I'm talking about, and I'm not just talking to into a space. Erica says, I start my daily post at 9 a.m. and I always see your first thing in the morning. Yes, Erica, that's exactly what happens. So if I post early enough, when people open Instagram in the morning, the first thing they will see is my post. Why? Because I posted in time. Now, if I posted it too late, if I posted at 10 o'clock, my content isn't going to show up in your feed like that. So I'm very intentional what time I post. And that is the reason why you see it the first thing in the morning. So Marsha says, yes, makes perfect sense. I understand. Fantastic. So use smaller, more niche hashtags that has less content. Create your own. The smaller account you are, the smaller hashtags you want to be using. Now, as your account grows, you start to diversify, you start to increase your hashtags in how big the hashtags are, because now, let's say you used, that's one of the themes that we used within our community was money mindset. You can say, maybe when you're starting out, you will write money mindset coach. As you start to grow, you will add money mindset as a hashtag. As your account becomes really big, you just probably use mindset, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend no matter what size you are. But as you start to grow, you increase the hashtag popularity, I would say, and your content would show up. Now, where you want to show up is in the popular content. So the more engagement you get on your post, the more your post will show up in the featured content, right? And when you start to get even more engagement on your posts, you might be featured in the discover page, right? So when you click on the search feature, that's the discover page. So once your content starts to show up there, you're really starting to go viral and your content is being found by more and more people. But to get there, you have to first kind of grow, like just see some growth in your numbers, in your engagement, where your content is being featured. You can use up to 30 hashtags per post, and you can also use hashtags in stories. So if you're going to use and go full on, you can use 30 hashtags. If you're going to use somebody else's content, and this is so important, it's just one of the ethical thing to do. Always tag the original content creators. Now, it will help you. When you tag the original content creator, that means you being authentic and you actually crediting the person who owns this original content. Don't try and pretend this is yours, because people will see on Instagram, they'll know this is not your original content, and eventually the real content creator will come forward and say, you either take it down or you tag us. So just be upfront, tag the original content creators, and just be very transparent, because they will appreciate it, and it's just the good thing to do. You can sometimes tag the most engaged tribe. So if you have most engaged community or people who really follow you, sometimes, and don't spam it, because one of ladies who attended our workshop, she literally started to spam us with tagging in every single post, every marketing post. We're like, please stop, because you are spamming. So know the line, the fine line between being genuine user and genuinely tagging people who you think will benefit from your post, and being spammy. So you don't want to become spammy and people blocking you or not having good experience with you, right? So if you want to get attention of certain influencers, you can also tag them. Again, be mindful and make that post relevant. So if you are sharing their content, maybe their quotes, tag them and just let them know you admire them. If you're using different brands, you can tag relevant brands. If you are in specific locations like a hotel or a restaurant or a bar or a city, you can tag that location and you will be found through that. And use your own unique hashtags. So that is that on being found through your content. Hope that all makes sense. So a few more things. If you really want to optimize your reach, you got to optimize your account. And by optimizing, using more features, you just become a little bit more noteworthy on Instagram, I suppose. So make sure you have a good bio. Does your bio tell people what you're all about? Does it entice them to follow you? So make sure you have a good bio. When it comes to business accounts, you get one link. So make sure that you use that link wisely. Featured stories, I love that, and it's something I created on my own personal profile for the first time this weekend, and I love the whole experience of creating featured stories and making those little graphic design for featured stories, which I've really enjoyed. So spend some time, be creative, have some fun, and just fill out your Instagram profile with use these features. There's so many features that you probably haven't even discovered within Instagram. Go ahead and discover. Honestly, you will enjoy that. So contact features, again, fill out the information. You can use stories, you can use IGTV, and there's ways of using those. Again, I can't go into too much detail, but use the features. They are there for you to gain more visibility and more traction for your content. You can connect your posts and your stories to Facebook, if you didn't know that. And you can also connect your posts to Twitter. So if you are user of those two platforms, you can connect your posts. So anything you post on Instagram will go through to your other social media platforms, which is pretty cool. And use analytics. So analytics will be telling. It will tell you what's your growth rate, how many followers you're getting, what's your most engaged content, what's the time that people engage. Use the analytics wisely. It's there for you. It's free of charge. Why not use it and try and understand what's working for you? A little bit more on growth. So I always say engagement over followers. So if you want to grow your followers, always engage with people. And why I say engagement over followers is that, let's say you have 10,000 followers and your engagement rate is probably 1% or 2% if you're lucky. Now, when you're a smaller account, your engagement is bigger. So let's say you have 1,000 followers, your engagement rate should be much bigger than that. So always focus on engagement over rapid growth, because after, let's say, 10, 15,000 followers, our growth just became insane. It just started to snowball. and our engagement dropped because it's just a natural thing that starts to happen because your followers growth becomes so fast that you have not they have not had the time to nurture through your content and to get to know you. So there's new followers who have not got to know you yet. So you got to nurture them and you got to get that engagement, because when they engage with your content, they will engage more and they will see more of your content. Now, the accounts that don't engage, they don't see your content that much. So always focus on engagement over followers. Nurture the followers that you have, and eventually the new followers will come through. Respond to some comments. So if you get comments, respond to them, give shout outs to people as well. It really works. Comment on other people's posts. Don't be afraid to do that, because it's a good thing to do. People will reciprocate. I guess the most important thing for me, and that's a bit of advice I can give you, be genuine and authentic, because there are so many automated bots, fake accounts, and all these growth tools that people use. They are just automated accounts that post spam and do all of these things. So if you are engaging yourself, be genuine, be authentic, show up as you, be unique, because that's when people will appreciate that you actually spent the time to respond to somebody's comment, not just say thank you, appreciate you, or tag me or follow me back. If you're going to engage, be authentic and make it worthwhile you doing it. So make your posts engaging as well. Ask for people to engage with you. Ask them to comment. Ask them any question, whatever it is. Make your content engaging by asking them to engage with it. Unless you create a call to action, and I'm not talking about call to action in terms of marketing sense, just a call to action. You just want to give them a reason to comment and to leave a comment with you. So ask them to engage. You can ask questions as well. Like I said, just ask them questions. You can also do an ask post. So I'll invite them to tag their friends. So if there is a good reason why they should tag their friend, or you've probably seen these kind of posts where you post a beautiful picture of a holiday and say, tag someone who you would like to be there with, or tag someone you're grateful for. Give them a reason to tag their friends. So again, call to action. How are you ladies doing? I'm seeing that we're running out of time, but I don't think we have too much left, and we are going to get to your promised bonus content at the end. So if there is one thing I would say to you not do and avoid, is some of these things. Never ever use automated bots and follow unfollow tactics using programs that do that on your behalf, because there are so many of those and so many people use it to kind of growth hack their accounts, and it's not an ethical way of doing it. And also, you will be breaching rules of Instagram. So, and I've actually seen this happen few days ago where some accounts got deleted, especially on my new personal account. I pay more attention to who follows and follows me, and I've seen that some accounts actually got deleted, and they were fake accounts or accounts that breaching the rules of Instagram. So what you really don't want to do is play the follow and follow game, because people can see it. Use automated bots. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. Don't use the automated growth hacks. Again, breaching the rules, and your account could be shut down. Or buy followers. Don't ever buy followers. It's just not worth it, and you will ruin your account by doing it. You'll ruin it to the point where your engagement will drop, the fake followers won't engage, and you're just going to ruin it for yourself. So just don't do that. Let me know if you have any questions as well, especially on this area of things. If you want to find out how to actually do it in an authentic and genuine way, in a way that you can actually feel proud that you've done it all yourself. You didn't use these tactics that some accounts use. Too many of them do, and it's unfortunate, because if you do it in the right way, you'll see the success many times over, because if you do buy followers, I hope not, they'll never buy from you. They'll never become your customer. So it's not just metrics and what cool. Yeah, it's just not worth it. So let's talk about tools. And I love some tools because those help me create some epic content. So again, if you want to create some epic content, make your feed look beautiful, I want to share some of my favorite ones. And this picture, it's one of my friends, Kat Gaskin. She is epic at creating her own content. So if you follow the content planner or Kat Gaskin, she is the ultimate inspiration for creating her own content, and totally admire what this girl does. She also has the content planner, which I love. It's a planner to plan my content every month, so I use that. But when it comes to digital products, you can use some of these tools that I use if you would like to. One of my go-to tools is Planoly or Plan. Planoly is the tool to help you design your feed, so you can drag and drop some pictures into it and see what your feed is going to look like, so it can look really put together, really coherent, well designed, it flows. So Planoly is one of my tools that I plan my content in advance, and I always have content handy because I put the content in there and I use it when I need it. Unfold is a pretty cool tool for stories. So if you want to make beautiful stories and kind of change the size of your pictures. So let's say, you have a square picture, but you want to post in the stories, Unfold will help you do that. For creating your own epic quotes and designed branded content, there's two tools that I use most often, which is Canva. Canva is free. You can just freely use and create your own content. And also WordSwag. WordSwag is a paid tool, but I have invested in that and I absolutely love it because it helps us make the quotes that we do on a daily basis. Later is a good planning tool and also analytics tool. So Later is a very good tool if you want to use it. Linktree will help you add more than one link into your website link. So it will help you share more than one website link in your Instagram profile. So handy tool. It doesn't always work properly, so sometimes you just have to check whether it's still working. So yeah, there's a good and a bad of using some of these tools. Do you ladies have any questions for me? Let me know. And go ahead and follow the content planner lady. She is fantastic. So if there is one more thing I want to talk to you about, and that is your statistics. So always look at your stats, try and understand them, look at what's working for your account, because my account is different to your account. Erica's account is different to Melissa's, Marsha's. We all have different niches. We all have different times at which our audience engage. So make sure you look at the statistics and just see what works for you. Okay, so I would say don't necessarily just trust a single source. I know that Later has another analytics. So sometimes I look at more than one analytics tool just to see whether it's the same thing happening, because Instagram interprets our analytics different than other tools. So yeah, and repeat what's worked before. So if there is some things that worked particularly well, go back and repeat something that you've done before and it worked. If there was a time that you posted that particularly worked for you and engaged with your audience, didn't do the same thing, just try again. So a lot of these things is about trial and error. You try, you put something out, you see whether it's working. Maybe if you put something in the afternoon, your content just flops, just doesn't get any traction. So don't do it. Do it at a time that engages with people. So do you ladies have any questions for me? Let me know. Some more growth strategies. So you want to find out, where does your audience hang out? Do you do something specific when you get a new follower? I'll come back to that, Melissa, in a minute. So growth strategies, where does your audience hang out? Follow some of the audience that you know are your ideal audience. You can also follow suggested or similar accounts. So, spend some time discovering the platform. Like, comment, engage, collaborate. All of these things will help you grow your following. Melissa says, am I doing anything specific when new followers come about? With women in business community, it's so difficult now because we have so many followers every day. So it's very difficult to keep track even of comments. So unfortunately, I could be there all day. But initially, yes, I would check them out. I would go check out their profile, engage with the content. If I like their account, I would follow them back. So yeah, I just engaged how I would with my personal account. So, same thing for my business. I want to engage with my followers. I want to engage with my customers who, perhaps in the future will become, my mentees, people who will buy my products or services. Why not? But be genuine. If you like their account, if you're not interested in their account, don't just go and follow to unfollow, because they might see it and they might not really like it. I hope that answers your question, Melissa. So let me know if you have any questions. I will get the link ready for you for your bonus content today. If you have any more questions, let me know. If you haven't joined the Instagram Secrets Facebook group, the link is just under the video, so you can go and check out the link underneath this video. Right, so did you ladies enjoy it? And let me know. So if you would like to learn a little bit more, I am opening doors to my next training series. And what we covered today literally was just an iceberg of the tip of the iceberg of what I actually teach within the Instagram Mastery course. I have run Instagram Mastery course twice so far, and on every Instagram Mastery course, I enroll 10 to 12 ladies. So I keep these groups very small. And if you really want to be on a journey with me, learning all of these strategies inside out and applying this knowledge, creating your beautiful feeds, learning the hashtag strategy, design, and so many more things, let me know. I am opening my doors to the Instagram Mastery officially. Now, I've been holding out. I wasn't sure when I would open it again, but there's been so many ladies who actually wanted for me to run this mastery training again. And there's one thing about watching it on replay, another thing watching it live. So during Instagram Mastery, I actually take you through this training live, like we are doing in today's session. Melissa says, super helpful. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Marsha says, love this, so helpful. Thank you. You are most welcome. So stay tuned. I've still got a checklist for you ladies, so make sure you grab the checklist before you go. So do you actually want to learn more than what we've learned today? I know we've covered so much today, and I really love sharing these strategies, but there is so much more, and I'd love to take you through the full training if you would like to. So Instagram Mastery, what it is and what are we going to learn throughout. So Instagram Mastery, we're going to create your irresistible feed. So all the design techniques, branding aspects, the colors, we're going to do it all. And I'll show you some examples of the women who've done it really, really well, that have been through my mastery training. How to actually work the Instagram algorithm to your advantage, so you can start getting followers in your sleep, like literally we do. That growth from 5 to 10,000 to beyond has all been due to us working the algorithm. And algorithm is so powerful, but you got to know how it works. So this is something I will be showing. Literally, I've got a whole workshop on algorithm to talk to you how it works and how to master that. We'll talk more about how to grow your following fast and how to make it efficient, all the tips and tricks that I have been using in on my journey as well. I've got a whole workshop and a workbook on hashtags, so how to use them effectively, how to create your own unique ones, and how to master it. So I've got so much to cover on hashtags. We'll talk more about Instagram features, how to engage with your followers, and how to make the most out of it. And for this particular training that's opening now, I'll be covering Instagram stories and also IGTV. So there are some new features that just came out, and I haven't covered it in the last mastery training. So I'll make sure that we are covering all the up-to-date features. So if you're really serious about growing your Instagram, make sure that we are here learning together. So I'll show you all the growth strategies of how I've done it in more detail. Give you my favorite tools. So I gave you like 5 tools, but there's about at least 30 tools of how to actually do your hashtag research, how to create more epic content, how to do editing, stories. There's so many more tools that I have been using to save me time and money, because you want to create epic content, but you don't want to be paying thousands of dollars for this content, right? And also analytics. Analytics is super powerful when it comes to your Instagram, and you got to know how to use it and how to master it. So in the last training, I went into a lot of detail how to use analytics, and like I said to you, I was able to predict my growth from 3,000 to 10,000 almost to the day. So analytics can be really powerful to really master your growth and see what's going on. And I have a special workshop on promotions, collaborations, and monetization. So if you're working on monetizing your Instagram following, I'll be talking how to make sales, how to make collaborations, how to make promotions, and I'll even be giving away a template of how to do promotions. So all of this will be all available within Instagram Mastery. It is opening on 7th of May. So next month it will be opening. We'll be starting the training, but the doors are open now. Will we be able to learn other social media platforms? Yes, I do cover some of the other social media platforms. I talk about how to make your social media posts, and we really go into a lot more strategy. We talk about who your audience are, how to engage with them. I do cover more in a lot more detail. So here's and Marona will relate to this, because Chelsea, when she enrolled to a mastery course, her Instagram profile looked like this on the left. Her content was literally so random, and she had, I think, 200 or 300 followers. She's just doing it for fun, but she wanted to start taking it seriously. So Chelsea enrolled on my course, and this what her content evolved to beautiful feeds. She started to adopt different colors for different seasons and branded colors. And this is what she had to say. She said, "Where do I even begin?" In October 2018, I was part of the 5-week Instagram course with Raymonda, and it was the best course I ever attended. My followers on Instagram went up by 500 and slowly going up. And just a few weeks ago, she hit the first 1,000. And, she started at few hundred. She only had like 200 followers at the time. I took her tips and did some tweaking to make difference on my IG feed. It went from complicated Instagram feed to an organized, beautiful IG. And another thing, I'm deaf mama of 3 boys. Yes, you read that right. A successful deaf mama. Raymonda did a fantastic job at making sure I understood everything and would answer any questions that didn't make sense for me. You will totally get your money's worth if you sign up for the Instagram course, Raymonda. And here's her before and after picture. So I made sure that, I was a deaf lady, she could still access our training. And, I'm really, really proud of her for the transformation that she made. Again, she's in our community. And if you join a mastery, you will definitely meet Chelsea. She is a lady you cannot miss. She is fantastic. So what else is included in this training? So there's downloadable books. So there's 3 workbooks that you can implement. So there's a lot of more detail than what we cover in the workshops. And there's access to a Facebook group to connect with other female entrepreneurs. You'll be able to ask questions, share experiences, and learn from others. And that is super valuable because ladies do connect and they make real good friendships on this course. You will also receive free media kit templates, so you can start monetizing your growth when you get to it. You'll have a chance to join dedicated engagement pods. So there is an engagement pod that we have for Instagram Mastery ladies who support one another on Instagram. And that is really invaluable because they all have been through this course and they all know the strategies and everything that works. So they know how to apply it and how to make the most out of these engagement pods and how to support one another when they need it. So super invaluable. And, you get to ask questions during our live sessions and also in the Facebook group. So this is Alton. She actually started her Instagram at 0 when she joined our course. And through the tips that we have given her and through the course, this picture was taken a few months ago. So I'm not sure what she's on at the moment. I'm sure it's at least 1,500. But Alton created a beautiful feed from the very beginning. So she had the advantage of taking the course at the very start and growing her following throughout. So that's her testimonial for the work that I've done with her. So she said Instagram course was absolutely brilliant. It helped me figure out the style, content, and who my audience are for my Instagram page. Like I said, she had no idea absolutely who her audience were and how to even begin. So I love her feed. I personally really enjoy these colors, and I spend time on her page just looking sometimes. So she says, her knowledgeable and supportive motivational approach helped me get off a great start on my Instagram journey, helped me reach more people who are genuine, engaged, and supportive of me. So I'm really proud of her as well. So what does the mastery cost? At the moment, for the opening price the cost is $299. This actual course will be priced at $597. But just because I just opened the doors for this training, and you also paid to be here, you showed your commitment. You already, you already showed me that you're committed and you are an action taker. So I want to give something back to you. I want to literally half the price right now and also give you another 15% off this course. So if you want to be one of the first people on this course, let me know. I will post a link in a chat box. I'll post a link to our website where you can find more details about the Instagram Mastery course. And if you're looking to sign up, if you're going to sign up in the next 24 hours, I've created a special code with additional 15% off. So you will get this mastery course for $254.15. So use the Instagram IG Secrets code and you'll get that additional 15% discount code. Now, this course will be marketed to the public at $597. So literally for being here on this Instagram training today, you'll get a half price plus 15% off this training. So I'm really, really excited and I can't wait to welcome you ladies. As soon as you join the mastery training, I'll send you the 2 of the workbooks right away. And I'll make sure you're invited into our Facebook group as well, so you can start making those connections and even join the Instagram pod right away. Now, it begins on the 7th of May, so you still got at least a month, but this IG Secrets code will be expiring in 24 hours. So if you would like that additional 15% off, and get this exclusive prize because you have been on this training today, make sure you sign up in the next 24 hours and I can't wait to welcome you. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. And I'll make sure I will share with you the checklist, which I promised you earlier. But before I do that, I just want to show you some more transformations that happen for the ladies who have been on my course. Now, again, some of these shots have been taken a little while back. So their accounts have grown. So Free Spirit Retreats, again, came to us with less than 100 followers. And through learning everything that we've learned on this course, look how beautiful her feed is. All these colors, vibrancy, it evokes a feeling. It's just absolutely stunning. So she managed to do, she literally didn't have any idea about social media. She didn't know how to use it. She didn't know who her audience were. And over the course of 5 weeks, her social media literacy just literally grown, and her confidence. So she has been truly mentored on this course as well. Stylish Female Society have taken our course, and look how gorgeous their feed has become as well. So Veronica was taking this course in October, and she has totally evolved. And Katie Colella already had quite a lot of experience with Instagram, but nevertheless, she improved hugely. Her feed, look how stunning her feed is. It goes horizontally, and all the content that she's using. She had a massive transformation with her Instagram as well as a result of this course. Amanda is our crazy website developer lady. She is super cute. Her feed was absolutely crazy. It had content mesh. Like, she would post anything: her dog, her cup, her breakfast, her videos, her office. There's just no coherency. And this is what she started to do. She started to use her brand colors, and she became very much more consistent. So she has a video testimonial for me, which I won't play today, but if you have any questions, let me know. So ladies, let me know if my questions above think you might have missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marsha. How much time would you spend a day doing all of this when you are setting this all up? I know you said 30 to 60 minutes is what you spend on Instagram, but presumably you would need to spend more than this initially. Marsha, I'll come back to your question in just a second. I just want to make sure to share your freebie before we forget, and I'll come back to the full screen. So let's close this screen, and I want to come back to you ladies so you can see me, and I can't see you, but so Marsha says, how much time would you spend a day doing all of this? So to be honest, I use my free time or downtime to do some research and find images or create images and quotes. So sometimes I spend approximately an hour and a half a day, probably not more than that. So yeah, I spend about an hour and a half, including research. But then on other days, when I have, the thing is, and what I teach on this course as well, is that you can plan your content in advance and batch create and batch schedule a lot of the stuff. So what you don't have to do is spend hours and hours creating your content and posting your content, because you've got the tools there for you. You've created your content, you've researched. And that's the thing. When you've made that research at the beginning and you prepared your account, you know who your audience are, you don't actually need to spend that much time. And it saves a huge amount of time. Like some days after we have, after the initial growth, I would spend 15 minutes on Instagram, or 20 minutes a day, and that would be it. Now, depending what I'm doing, and maybe sometimes I go live or I engage with that audience, sometimes it'll be more than that. But on other days when I'm busy, I literally spend 15-20 minutes because I already have the content created in advance. So Marsha, does it answer your question? So ladies, you have the checklist available for you. Does anyone have questions on Instagram Mastery? The Instagram Mastery will begin on 7th of May, and we will have 5 sessions delivered every Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. for 5 weeks together. and we'll work through like literally the full course, and I'll be sharing more insights about how to create your coherent strategy, who your audience are. We're really going to go deep, and you will be held accountable as well. So one of the reasons why things don't happen and we don't get committed to, let's say, doing all of these things, it's because there's no accountability. And one of the beautiful things about being on a program like this, where you are actually in a group program, is the accountability that you have to the person teaching you, and people on the other end as well who are on the group with you learning. So the accountability is so powerful when you become part of like a group training that we are doing. Marsha says, yes, thank you. I think I need to spend more time creating things in advance. You totally don't have to, because we will be doing it together. But yeah, absolutely. Implement what you've learned today and share what you've learned in the Facebook group, or even tag us. You can just tag us on Facebook and let me know how you enjoyed this training, and share your progress within the group. I know one of the ladies who just finished one of these workshops a few months ago. She went and overhauled the whole Instagram account and making incredible progress. So how much progress you make, it really is down to you, because in today's session, we've covered a whole huge amount of content, and I gave so many tips to already go and implement it. So like I promised you at the beginning, this isn't just a sales call. This isn't just come and hear my story webinar. This is actual training. And I hope that by spending an hour and a half hanging out with me, you actually learn things that you can start implementing in your business. And I'm super excited to see your growth and to see what you're going to implement from today's training. But don't forget to share with us. I want to see your progress. So even better, take a snapshot before. So what your feed looks like right now and how many followers you have right now. And take another snapshot in a few weeks' time after you have started to implement this content and all your learnings. And then you'll know just how far you have come. So I just want to share again a workbook. So if you haven't grabbed yourself a workbook, make sure you do. The link is just underneath. And if you would like to enroll in our mastery training, the link is here. And the code that you need is IG Secrets. And you will get 15% off this training if you'd like to join it. This code is only available for the next 24 hours. So 4th of April at 6:30 p.m. UK time, this code will expire. So if you are thinking about joining this training, make sure you join us now. Ladies, unless you have any more questions for me or any comments that you would like me to read, let me know. Otherwise, I will be signing out. And I just want to say thank you so much for spending the last hour and a half with me hanging out, learning today, and hopefully you will be applying this knowledge to your Instagram and your business. Don't forget to come back to Instagram group and check in, let us know your progress, and I can't wait to see all of you really succeeding with your Instagram accounts, because this is what it's all about. You showed up to this training. You were here, you've learned, and now it's time to apply this knowledge in, it's not just about learning, but you've got to also apply it. And you can only learn by doing it, by testing and applying this knowledge. And, things might not work out from the first time. So you just got to keep going and stay positive, Things aren't going to happen overnight, so be patient with yourself. So Marsha says, thanks, Raimonda. You are most welcome. Mel says, thank you for all the great tips. You are so welcome. So let me see who's still here. Gabby here, Marsha, Marona, Melissa. Thank you, girls. I really appreciate you. Thanks for being so engaging today, and enjoy the rest of your evening. I actually have another call coming up in 15 minutes, so my talking is not over for today. Thanks, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I love connecting with you. Hopefully, I'll see you actually on a call one day so you can tell me exactly how to pronounce your name. Although you said I'd done it right. Ladies, appreciate you today. Have a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, my loves. Bye.